Whoops. That was a sudden abrupt stop. Hi everyone, let me just get the Zoom up. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. My name is Anna Krajicic. I wanted to get some energy up. I wanted everybody to get energized and ready for tonight's Monday night training. I'll just share the screen. 1 second. Here we go. Okay, welcome everybody to tonight's Monday night call. I am Anna Krajicic and I am based in Canberra. So we are a part of J-Fire, which is the fastest growing team within the Jeunesse family, started here in Australia. So we're having amazing time, having a great fun growing this business. My journey started with Jeunesse here, or J-Fire, 2.5 years ago, or a little bit less than 2.5 years ago. And since then, my life has completely turned around. I've had the most amount of fun. I mean, I didn't know where this was going to take me. I came from traditional business. So I did, most of my adult life, I was in traditional business and jumping around from a few different things. Then I thought I'd go into the corporate world for a little while just to give myself a break, because when you're the boss, you work the hardest. And I just didn't fit into the corporate world model because I found it really difficult to have someone control my life, and I had to ask permission to do things. So I looked around for a few different things. I tried something else, and then Jeunesse came along, and I left the corporate world. Actually, I burned my bridges because I just thought something else has to be out there. So I did leave the corporate world before I found Jeunesse, and the bosses thought I was absolutely crazy for doing that because I had no income to fall back on. But I did, and it was the best decision of my life. I've traveled around extensively. I reached the Sapphire Elite level in the 13 months, which means I replaced my full-time income residually. And as you can see the photos, I've had such an amazing time. We've just come back from the cruise, which was the Mediterranean cruise. I've been to Dubai. I'm heading off to Orlando as well. I was in Macau. I was in Singapore. So this has been nothing short of absolutely incredible. So what we're going to talk about tonight is let's have a look at some housekeeping. What's on this week? So we're going to just briefly go through the webinars, the live events, training and live calls. So with J-Fire International Webinars, here you can see where they are, what time they're located. We are now branching out, which is really exciting. J-Fire is branching out all around the world in different time zones. So you can see where they are there. The live events, where we have corporate live or live opportunity meetings on Tuesday. This is the week coming up. This is our Australian and New Zealand based. We have Brisbane on the 19th. We've got, as you can see, Brisbane, Perth, Adelaide on Wednesday the 20th. That's Western Melbourne, and we also have Brisbane, the Chinese event, Thursday, Beaconsfield in Melbourne, Bunbury in Western Australia, and on Monday next week we're in Cairns, and there's a Chinese event in Preston. And then also our international events, it's getting really, really exciting, and you can also find your international events in your back office. If you go into your back office under members only, you can go to the calendar for the events, and you can see what's happening around the world there, so you can prospect any people that you know in those areas and get them along to the events. As you can see, Monday the 18th, we are in South Africa in Johannesburg, then the 19th in Botswana. Wednesday we're in Canada and also Namibia, and Thursday Salt Lake City and also Vancouver, and Saturday Toronto in Canada at the Hilton. So really exciting. Also, we also have the official launch for new markets. So as you can see, Africa is going gung-ho. We're really expanding quickly there. We're moved into Angola, Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So if you know people there, it's a perfect time in the launching phase to prospect out into Africa. Also, we still have in Africa the $1 sign-up deal. So it goes until the 1st of August. So we still have a little less than 2 weeks, so make sure you take advantage of this and push some packs because people can save some money, which is a fantastic opportunity. Great way to get some product out there for people to trial our products for the $1 sign up. And of course, university. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get to this event. I haven't missed a single event. The leaders say get to every event, and that's exactly what I've done, and that's exactly why I am where I am. So the 6th of August, your tickets are available in the back office. Make sure you get your tickets and come along and let's enjoy the university. They always have a special guest, so I'm not sure who that special guest is going to be, but it is absolutely jam-packed. You will leave feeling like you can conquer the earth, I can tell you that much. So certainly get along to your Jeunesse University. Also, our international once-a-year event, our conference, our Empower Jeunesse Expo in Orlando. I wouldn't miss this for anything. I've bought my tickets already, got some great deals, and I'm off to Orlando with a bunch of my team. So make sure you get to Orlando and don't miss this event. So what's happening? What have we got to show off? What's happened in the last few days? Well, we've had South Africa University, amazing full house, 650 people, and that's relatively a new market. And look at that. And James is down the bottom, James and Chantel, with their own personal team. So going gung-ho, it's amazing, fantastic. So we've got about 30 minutes, and my presentation tonight is what I believe is literally the key to success. It's what's changed my life. It's what got me moving in a certain direction in my life, which brought me to opportunities and made me have my eyes open to looking at things around my life and how I can create change. And I really do believe this is the single most important thing that will provide or bring you the success that you're looking for. And it's mindset. Now, mindset is the most important foundation to your business. It determines who you want to be, where you're going in life, how you feel about it, what you're thinking. It will determine it will set you up with your belief and your confidence and your motivation. It's personal empowerment. It's understanding the subconscious mind and brain patterning. So all of the leaders, when you look at there, what defines or what separates a person who's starting the business to a person who's earning the income level that you want to become or you want to be able to earn? It's mindset. Mindset is the foundation, the personal foundation for your success and in life, not just in Jeunesse, but in life generally. So you only know what you've been exposed to throughout your life. We grow up in certain paradigms, I guess, or certain conditions based on our childhood, on our schooling, our education, our experiences as young adults, and that's what we perceive as our reality. We basically we mirror what we see around us until we see something else or somebody else shows us a different way, or we get exposed to new information. So our beliefs are developed through our childhood, and that's how we believe that life should be. So your current results are based on programming. So whatever you have around you at the moment, if you look outside into your external world, what you have right now is a result of what you've been programmed to have and how you've been conditioned to live. So personal development and mindset is shifting your perspective and your perception. When you find out new information, it triggers something within you to say, oh, wow, maybe that is possible for me. And only when you see something different are you then open enough to take it on board and say, wow, and absorb that information. So are your foundations built on sand or on stone? So by that, if you've got a solid mindset, your foundations are built on stone. You've got whatever you do in your life, wherever you move forward to, if you've got a solid mindset, that means your foundations are on stone. If you don't understand things, and most people when they join this business, look, I always say this business is a personal development vehicle disguised as an opportunity. It really is, because it's life-changing from the foundation of who you are, because you must change in order to become something that you aren't currently. And self-image is how you see yourself in the world. And one amazing book that I read is Psycho-Cybernetics. Now, Maxwell Maltz, he's a plastic surgeon, and he used to do he wrote a fantastic book back in the 20s or 30s, I think it was, about mindset and self-image and how people see themselves in the world, and that's how they function within the world environment. So self-image, with mindset, you change your self-image. So how do you see yourself? As a man thinketh, so is he. So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you see somebody that's powerful, that's what you're going to reflect out in the world. If you look at yourself in the mirror, if it's just say you are the lion, but you're looking at a little kitten in the mirror, you see yourself as weak and you see yourself as inadequate, then that's what you're going to project into the world, into out there in the world. That's why mindset is so important. So everybody that's out there, everybody that's made it, according to what we think, made it is, started with somebody sharing new information with them. For example, if you all know Tony Robbins' story, Tony Robbins was broke until he was exposed to new information. We all know the story how his pants were too short for him because he couldn't afford, he had a growth spurt, he's a big guy. He had a massive growth spurt, and he couldn't afford to buy pants to fit his long, tall, growing legs. But then he got exposed to some information which absolutely, completely changed his mindset and forged a new path in his life. Jim Rohn was exposed to new information as well. He was broke, and he shares the story about how he only had, how a little girl was, like a girl guide, was knocking on his door, and she had girl guide cookies to sell. And he actually lied to her, and he said, I'm sorry, darling, I've just bought a bunch of cookies from another girl. And she goes, oh, thank you so much. And he felt so terrible. And that was a turning point for his life. So, but he was actually, Tony Robbins actually worked with Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn was his inspiration for change. And Jim Rohn worked with a guy called Earl Shoaff. Now, Earl Shoaff taught Jim a bunch of lessons that he took on in his life. And Tony Robbins was pivotal for me. I didn't know, if you looked at me 20 years ago, you would think I'm two different people. I had no self-confidence. I never thought that I could stand up in front of anybody or say a single thing. But through the process of personal development and through the process of shifting my mindset, I now understand that I can be, do, and have anything. Whatever my desires are, I can move towards them because I have a foundation that's built on stone. Same with Dani Johnson. If you know Dani Johnson's story, she was broke and homeless, and she became a multi-millionaire in her early 20s because she also was exposed to new information. So she shifted and changed her mindset. So beliefs change or shape your reality. But you only know what you've been exposed to previously. Therefore, the mindset work, the personal development will shift you into a new state of being, a new belief system, and new patterning. So everything is information. Personal empowerment. So when you shift from a belief of can't to can, that means you've been personally empowered. You have had a mindset shift that changes your life. It moves you into a direction of believability. Wow, I actually really can do this. It is possible. So you become open to new possibilities as well. Because when you come across this business, people come across or jump into this business for a reason. They get momentarily inspired because something has happened to activate something within them. A desire within them becomes activated. And through that mindset, deliberate, consistent mindset shifting, they move into the direction of their goals and their dreams. So life begins to shift through the perceptions of new filters and new lenses. That just means that you're seeing the world through a different perspective. So what seemed impossible starts to look possible, and dreams become activated. Every one of us had dreams when we were children, but through living our lives and through people and through negative people that were negative around us, they affirmed actually for us, no, you can't do that. You could never do that. So if anybody's seen that movie, I think it's Eddie the Eagle. I think it's called Eddie the Eagle, about a guy who in England, he was the first one to have received a gold Olympic medal. An Olympic medal for ski jumping, and nobody has ever done that in England. But he had a dream, he had a goal, he had a vision, and nobody crushed that for him. And his mindset was built on solid ground. His mindset was, I have to achieve this, and he found a way. So mindset is everything. When you have the right mindset, you become an unstoppable force. Things shift. You open to opportunities. You see things around you. So understanding the thought processes and where do you kind of go and get this mindset stuff? How do you start? What do you do? So you become what you think about most of the time. And that's the reality of what's happening around you. What you think about most of the time. That's why those people who have success in their lives, they're obsessed with what they're looking for. They're obsessed with what they want. So they think about it all the time. So Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret, is a fantastic, that's also from the 30s, I believe, 30s or 40s. And Bob Proctor was a student of Earl Nightingale. His desire was to learn from Earl Nightingale, who was one of the first people in the 1900s to start thinking about new thought and sharing his new thought. So that's definitely one to write down and check out. So thoughts become things. So when you have, depending on what your mindset is, what you think about, you create. So they say what you hold in the mind, you will hold in the hand. So Mike Dooley on YouTube, you can look up Thoughts Become Things, and he talks about the law of attraction. He talks about what you think about, you become. So, and the mindset develops, or what mindset you have expands on what you currently believe, what you currently think, and what your past conditioning is. And there's also universal laws that you understand, that you learn about in mindset development. So you learn about the law of attraction, you learn about the law of reaping and sowing, and Jim Rohn has an amazing video about reaping and sowing. You also learn about cause and effect. And that shapes your reality, that shapes your future. It shapes the way you think and where you go with those thoughts. Because in order to have what you don't have right now, you must become different. You must change. So your thought processes must change. And the way that they do that is through consistent shifting of the mindset, consistent exposure to new information. And Bob Proctor, You Were Born Rich, is a fantastic YouTube course. It does go for a long time because it's a whole weekend seminar, but you can watch it in chunks. There you will learn exactly how the thought processes start shifting to create the life that you want. So the words that you speak become your experience and your reality. And we don't understand that. We don't understand that how we think and what we think is what we speak. So any negative thoughts that come out of our mouths, I mean, look, we're all guilty of negative thinking, but it's when you become aware of those negative thoughts that turn into negative words, turn into negative attractions. So what you think and how you think, and you need to look at the people who have what you want. What are they? How do they hold themselves? What do they say? How do they speak? What's their posture? So your experience and your reality shifts and changes by what you think and what you say. And your self-worth is determined by your self-perception. Again, that's like going back to the self-image. If you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel like you deserve success, then you won't have it. So what you think, how worthy you feel, and unfortunately most of us are raised with the perception that we're not worthy. And it's only when you start doing the internal work does that start to shift and start to change. So, you know, you've got to do the homework. And behavior is just a habit. So we repeat patterns unconsciously in every minute through our repetitive actions. It's because our actions become habits. And one way that really sort of stuck with me is that I wear glasses, and I that's just a thing that's been happening lately. In my late 40s, I started to wear glasses. Now, when I don't wear my glasses for whatever reason, when they're off, because I repeat a particular pattern daily, and I don't know how many times, probably hundreds of times a day, I still repeat that pattern even when my glasses are off. So that teaches me about mind conditioning and pattern behavior. It's unconscious. And so I always adjust my glasses. Like when I'm talking to people, I always adjust them a little bit. It feels like they're falling off my nose. But the strange thing is, they still feel like they're falling off my nose when I'm not wearing them, because I know and I understand that that's an unconscious pattern that's expressed outwardly. And that's how we live our lives. So like these two guys on the lounge, what they do is simply a reflection of their thought patterns, their unconscious patterns. You can see we've got one guy on the couch with a packet of chips just watching telly, the remote's in his hands, and we've got another guy in the gym. There's no difference between the two other than the mindset that they've nurtured and through their desires. So the mindset that you have nurtures the desire. So I mean, like that, if that guy, well, it's also like saying, if you want to have a healthy, fit body, but you keep walking past the gym thinking, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, that's your subconscious patterning trying to keep you exactly where you are, because it's familiar. Patterns and our habits are familiar with our identity and who we think we are. So we decide who we want to be in every minute by the actions we take, the thoughts we think, and the words we speak. And when you understand that you can actually change anything, that's a massive empowerment, because you are in control of your life, and nobody told us that. Nobody taught us that in school. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that until my late 30s. I didn't realize until my late 30s that, oh my goodness, I do have a mind. I can make choices. I can be and do whatever I want to be, do, and have. But you need to then nurture that. What do you want? You need to know where you're going. You need to know what you want out of life, what your desires are, and what your goals are. And they need to be concrete. They need to be written down. And when they're concrete and written down, and you start to shift your mindset to the belief that you can have those, then things start to happen. Opportunities start to present, prospects will come your way, chance meetings will happen, because you've become open to it. Because when your mindset is in sand, for example, when your foundations are in sand, you don't see the opportunity because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that there is what you're looking for is out there. It's out in your reach, but it's not reachable until you've got the mindset to achieve it. And if we look at all of the people, this is really important as well. When you look at all of the people that walk across the stages, what is their posture? How do they look? What's their energy? And I can guarantee you that nobody was born that way. We're not born with the mindset to success or the mindset to achieving our goals. We develop them, and we only develop them when we're exposed to new information. So how do we start the mindset shift? Okay, so you must be exposed to new information. You must read daily. And what I mean about read daily, I don't mean read, romance novels or crime novels or something like that. You must read information that helps you awaken to the field of possibilities, that helps you awaken to what's possible, what is out there. It's like 6 degrees of separation. When you start to make little incremental mindset shifts in your life, over a period of time, big things start to happen. So for example, if you want to have a certain level of fitness, great. Okay, so you've got to determine, okay, what level of fitness do I want? Even if you walk out the front door and walk 100 meters and come, walk 100 or 50 meters up the road and 50 meters back, great. You've started a new mindset pattern, but you must repeat that pattern consistently. So daily reading shifts the old programming of who you were and helps you move into who you wish to be and who you'd like to become. And all leaders are readers. That's one of the things that defines the everyday person to the leader. They have found the information, they've studied the information, and you have to be hungry for the information. So you need to also watch videos or something motivational daily, because that's going to keep your energy up. That's going to keep your belief moving. That's going to keep you wanting more. And you've got to also attend all of the events. Now, that's one of the things that was taught to me at the very, very start. And yes, I could have said, no, look, I can't afford it, or this is happening, or that's happening. But anything like that as well, once you understand about mindset shift, you will understand that the old you does not want you to change. Okay, the old you, the old paradigm of who you are wants you to stay exactly the same. And it's going to create blocks. It's going to create all sorts of different things that crop up in your experience that's going to prove to you that you can't do it. So when that happens, you've got to push through that. You've got to say, if I'm going to attend all of the events, it's going to be a must, and it's going to happen no matter what. Because then you'll get that little, like, that ego creeping back up and saying, oh no, you won't. No, you can't leave the kids. What about Auntie Jenny is going to be visiting, or you don't have the money? So doubt it's your subconscious mind and old conditioning is going to try to stop you. So just be conscious of that. Be aware that your old patterning does not want you to change, okay? So we also listen to mentors. I know that when I started this business, I did training, and I also did leave the corporate world, so I did have all day to learn and study, but I immersed myself in anything that I could because I needed that shift to happen internally, because there's extrinsic motivation and there's intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation means that you get motivated from something that you see outside of yourself. Intrinsic motivation is the presence of that desire and that motivation within you. It's like a burning desire. It's always there. So you don't need to be motivated externally. But if you have to be motivated daily and from an external source all the time, you're going to find it very, very hard to stick with change. So you create the goals for your life and read them daily as well. When you create goals for your life, you've got to decide what you want in all areas of your life, not just the business, because it all goes hand in hand. So if you want to be successful in this business, there's 3 areas that you need success in as well. It's got to be mind, body, and spirit. Okay, so if you want to walk the stages, there's got to be a balance in all of those 3. So you've got to start eating well. You've got to start moving. So you've got to start exercising, because exercise gives you energy. And spirit, with spirit, you need some time out. You need some peace. Whether that's meditation for you, whether that's sitting at the beach, whether that's sitting underneath a tree, whatever it is, or reading something spiritual source or spiritual nature, you need to be able to reconnect with yourself. Now that's part of the mindset trilogy that will provide a successful foundation in stone for you. Now, feeling gratitude every day. When you feel gratitude, and this is what so many, new age thinkers say, or mindset thinkers. When you feel gratitude, you have to feel gratitude for the little things, or for everything that you have, for the little things. Like when you jump into bed and your sheets are beautiful and clean, be grateful. When you see the smile on your child's face, feel that gratitude, because it's the feeling that attracts into your life what you're looking for. So how would it feel? You've got to be grateful so for example, if you're jade and you want to be pearl, start to be grateful for being pearl. If you're pearl but you want to be sapphire, start feeling grateful. How are you going to feel wearing that sapphire pin? If you want to be a sapphire elite, how's it going to feel to wear that pin? How's it going to feel to get that pin in your letterbox? How's it going to feel to see 100 cycles in your back office? So start to feel grateful and gratitude daily for the little things and for the things that you're looking for and the things that you want. Who inspires you? Who motivates you? Who makes you happy? Show gratitude for that within yourself. Be aware of your thoughts as well. We all have these little niggly thoughts that creep in, and when you do become aware of these thoughts, it shifts your perspective and your perception, because then you become the observer of your own thinking. And then you can control that. You go, oh wow, I just had this thought about such and such, or a negative thought about this, or a negative thought about that. So be aware of your thoughts every day. So if you're saying, oh, my business sucks, or my team sucks, or this will never work, or this, guess what? You're going to create exactly that. So be aware of your thoughts. Okay. So make your thoughts, what have you got to be happy about, rather than what have you got to be miserable about? We can all come up with a list of things to be miserable about. So it's a process of consistency. It's exactly like going to the gym. It's exactly like walking. It's exactly like dieting. You have to be consistent at it. You can't go to the gym, do a workout 3 times a week, or 3 times in 1 week, and then expect to have the perfect body, and then you get disappointed and say, well, that didn't work. Because it's consistency. Consistency will get you to where you want to go. And that's what all of the diamonds are saying. It's about persistency and consistency. So who are you choosing to be in this moment? You know, my life completely changed when I was exposed to personal development, and I think it was Tony Robbins that actually exposed me to that. So listening to people like Tony Robbins or Jim Rohn or Brian Tracy, or anybody that offers you new information on how you can shift your perspective and how you can shift your intention of who you are and who you want to be, that's really important, because you can become and be and have anything. But see, the problem is nobody's ever told you that. But when you get exposed to that information and you shift your mindset to what you want out of life, you start to move into the direction of that. So how others see you is not important. How you see yourself means everything. Your personal image, your self-image will determine where you want to go or where you will be going in life. If you're really shy, okay, so then you've got to work out, okay, why are you shy? What skills can you learn for you to put on your little Superman suit? What skills can you learn? What can you be around? What information can you find? What mindset can you find to help you develop a confidence within yourself? Everything is out there. All you need to do is Google, or just how to get more confidence, or how to not be shy, or how to speak publicly. Everything is out there. All the information is out there. You just need to be willing and ready for change. Because until you're ready for change, until you're ready to shift the mindset, everything will stay exactly the same. So look at your life right now the way it is. It's a carbon copy or a mirror reflection of every thought that you've been thinking, and how you perceive yourself and your reality and how you fit into the world. And I was sharing this with some people as well. Where you are right now, can you imagine all of a sudden, overnight, you're an emerald? So if you're an executive and all of a sudden you're an emerald, are you capable of standing up in front of an audience with the microphone of 14,000 people and doing your acceptance speech for your pin? Are you ready for that? Most likely no, because you're not of that mindset. So you need to grow into that emerald. You need to grow into that diamond from that executive, or from even just being a distributor. You need to move and grow into the person that you want to become. And that, my friends, is through mindset. So thank you so much for being on the call. I'll just stop screen share. Thanks, everyone, and get ready for our meeting, which will be, or the webinar, which will be in a few minutes, 20 minutes. And have a great night. It was great to chat with you all. Bye for now.